Hey everyone, today is Tuesday, March 9th. The time is 3:36 p.m. and the temperature outside is a rather nice 10 degrees Celsius. I'm here at Bloor-Yonge Station, and the plan for this one is to head outside and go for a walk through the Yorkville neighborhood. And then I think I'll head over to Bedford Road and walk south down to St. George Station. And straight ahead there is Bloor Street East. But I'll head out to Yonge Street. So here we are, this is Yonge, and there's a look to the south. And just on the right here is Nordstrom Rack. And they were able to open to in-store customers for the first time in a long time as of yesterday, as the City of Toronto moved into what the province refers to as the gray zone. This is the intersection of Yonge and Bloor. There's a look at the one, which is currently under construction. So what I'll do is I'll head along Bloor Street here over to Bay, and then I'll walk up into the Yorkville Village neighborhood. This part of Bloor Street in Yorkville is known as the Mink Mile, and that's the stretch in between Yonge and Avenue Road. There's a look at H&M. There appears to be no lineup to get in. And although most retail is open for in-store shopping, bars, restaurants, cafes are still unable to have indoor or outdoor seating. And hair salons and personal care services are also closed, as are entertainment venues. And in the left here, inside the Manulife Center, is a rather large movie theater. So that remains shuttered. but there's certainly a lot more life along Bloor than I've seen in quite a while. And this is a Tuesday afternoon.
He sucked his zillion boots.
So this is Bay Street. And that's a look to the south. And I'll probably be back along the Mink Mile at some point in the coming weeks on the weekend. There's where the Gap used to be. Yorkville is home to a lot of rather high-end retailers, and in fact, the Mink Mile, where I just was ranked as the 7th most expensive shopping street in the world by Forbes magazine back in 2008. Here's the Bay entrance to Bay Station on Line 2. There's a look up at the Four Seasons, and this is Cumberland Street. So this part of Yorkville is known as York Village, or Yorkville Village.
So we couldn't get Bayview Village, we got Queens.
And in the 1960s, Yorkville was a hub for Canadian hippie culture. However, that started to give way once the subway was completed in 1966. Oh, here's a Rolls Royce, not an uncommon sight here in Yorkville. This is Belair Street, and there is Sassafras. And this here on the left is Yorkville Village Park. Or I think it's actually the village of Yorkville Park. Now on this site there used to be a lot of Victorian homes. But they were cleared out to build the subway. And it was turned into a parking lot. And then in 1991, the parking lot was taken out and they put in this park, including this 650-ton granite rock that was shipped in from the Canadian Shield. Apparently it took over 20 truckloads to bring it in. It was reassembled. Of course, they couldn't ship it all as one. And apparently, it's around 1 billion years old. So it's good to see a lot of people out in the park. And there is Hemingway's. It's a bar and restaurant. It's normally packed with people, and especially on a day like today, the upstairs patio would be quite busy, but as per the city's wishes, the province did not allow restaurants to open in the current gray zone phase. And this here is Old York Lane.
So I need to be made up a little.
And this will take us to Yorkville Avenue, and I'll go for a walk along there. There's a lot of high-end eateries in this area as well. And there's a look to the west. And this here is the Oxley. And that's one of the last places I dined at. Back in the good old days when we were allowed to do such things.
The alley that I came out of is
And I think that is a Corvette.
Yeah, that one.
And it's back to Belair Street. There's a really good teppanyaki restaurant, Yamoto, right there. So after the subway was built, this area experienced somewhat rapid gentrification. The property values increased substantially. And eventually, a lot of higher end shops moved in. And here's the somewhat new Four Seasons Hotel. They used to be located to the west from here. That guy's asking what the F is that I'm holding. He's looking right at my camera, but I chose not to point the camera at him. We had some interesting run-ins with people on my live stream last night. There's a look south down Bay. And this has to be the nicest day of the year so far. I think that's a big condo going in right there. And that building with the blue roof is the Pilot. That's another popular bar and restaurant here, similar to Hemingway's in that it's not super expensive. And they've got a big rooftop patio as well. And here is the Four Seasons. And when the Toronto Film Festival is in town, there's often a lot of celebrity sightings in the Yorkville area. And this is the most popular hotel where you'll find them. But it's certainly not the only high-end hotel in Toronto. And it looks like this is the former home of Eastern Sound Studio. And there's Fire Station 312. There should be a plaque on this one, as this goes back all the way to the 1800s. I think even the 1870s. There's some neat plaques with more information. Regarding the history of firefighting in Toronto, and right next door to it is another beautiful old building. And this is the Yorkville Branch Library. And this goes back to 1907. And they are closed right now. I think it's curbside pickup only at libraries, and you can also use their internet facilities. So that is Yonge Street straight ahead. And this is Town Hall Square. And this is the former home of Yorkville Town Hall. And that was destroyed by fire in 1941. I'm just reading that off the plaque there. So it looks like that project under construction there is 11 Yorkville. So this should be Scollard Street. I'll head west across here over to Hazelton Avenue, and then I'll walk north and make my way up to Davenport Road. There's a look at the old Masonic Temple. And that is Davenport Road, just to the north of here. It ends at Yonge Street and becomes Church on the other side. And I'm not sure if I've ever recorded this part of Schollard Street on the channel before. There's Old English Grooming Club and the Noble Society. So Hazleton and Bedford Road are mostly residential streets, but there's a lot of really old, classic, nice homes on those streets. Many are worth $4.5 to $5 million. And here's some old properties that were preserved as part of this new development. Although it doesn't look like they've done any excavating. I'm not entirely sure what the plans are for this particular lot. And Bay Street here might be busy enough that I don't have a clear opportunity to cross. I spoke too soon. And there is an e-bus about to make its way down Bay. I've seen a number of those on this particular line. Toronto does have the largest electric bus fleet in North America. That's a neat sighting, and I don't think I've actually ridden on one of those yet. So this street is a lot quieter than Cumberland and Yorkville Avenue, but it's still nice. There's a lot of boutiques and galleries and salons. It's always nice when people are completely oblivious to the world around them. Always thought this was kind of neat. And this is Hazleton Avenue. And that there is the entrance to a shopping mall called Yorkville Village, although it was previously known as Hazleton Lanes. I think it was around 2016 they rebranded the mall So that'll take you through to Avenue Road. I just wanted to come check this out. So that is Yorkville Avenue where I just was. That's the Oxley, the restaurant I talked about, right at the south end of the street here. And this mall was originally built in, I'm trying to remember, I looked this up on my way over here. I think 1976. It's not a particularly big mall. And there's a Novus store. They sell Canada Goose style jackets that are quite expensive.
Stupid.
This would be one of the more expensive residential neighborhoods you could own a house in the city.
Organized by him.
We tried to look some of these up on a live stream. And we found a few that were for lease. I don't recall finding any that were for sale. But on Bedford Road we did. That'll be coming up rather soon. Although a lot of these properties seem to be undergoing renovations. All right, so this is Webster up ahead. I'll take this over to Avenue, and that'll take me to Bedford Road. So this is the Yorkville neighborhood, but once I cross over to the other side of Avenue, I'll be in the Annex neighborhood. Oh, this house is still for lease. Someone's listening to Offspring. I haven't heard them in a while. Trying to keep the camera a bit to the right here. So I've got that sun bearing down on me straight ahead. That hasn't really posed much of a problem all winter. It's been gray and gloomy for so long. Oh, there's a Texas license plate. Bachelor for Rent at 24 Webster. The Annex neighborhood is quite known for a lot of fraternity houses and houses that have been divided and chopped up into apartments for University of Toronto students. And that is just on the other side of Avenue Road here. And here is Davenport Road and Avenue. You could head straight up Avenue to past St. Clair Avenue. It'll briefly come to an end at Upper Canada College and resume itself on the other side. And from there, it'll head north of Highway 401. There's another electric number 6 bay bus. And across the street is an old favorite in this neighborhood, the Avenue Diner. Bedford Road is coming up just ahead here, although it starts a little bit to the north at DuPont Street. In this neighborhood, the Annex pretty much runs from Avenue Road to the east to Bathurst Street to the west, and just north of DuPont to the north, and I think Bloor Street to the south. I'm starting to question myself on the Annex here. Maybe I can stealthily look that up on Google Maps. Yeah, according to Google, it ends at Bloor to the south. I was wondering if it expanded just south of there. And AYC 181 Bedford. In my mind, AYC stands for all you can eat sushi, but here it is, the Annex Yorkville connection. And here we go. This is Bedford Road. I'm now walking south along the east side. Although I might have a better view of the CN Tower if I walked on the other side. But then I'll be contending with these parked cars in the way. And a lot of these homes are considered to be Toronto Annex style homes. It's a unique style to the city of Toronto. And they sort of take their inspiration from some of the old E.J. Lennox buildings found throughout the city. I think these are some good examples of that style right across the street. They're often mostly brick homes with somewhat grand rooftop elements and tower features.
So when you go down Spadina, is that where you go down right?
And I don't think too many of these homes on Bedford are used for student housing. This one might be. They have a unit for rent. This was built in 1894, and the first resident was Donald McDonald. Bright, spacious, newly renovated one bedroom. There's one for sale at 111. And at the south end of the street here is where the not so popular these days mayor of the city lives. Lives in a condo right at Bloor and Bedford. Up in this house over here at 95 looks like it's been sold. And this is a really unique looking house here. Almost looks like it could be an apartment building. There's Tattle Creek Park. And that features a rather interesting mesh jug kind of sculpture at its center. There's a cool look down at the CN Tower. That's Varsity Stadium, just at the end of Bedford Road here. The co-creator or co-discoverer of insulin lived in a house on this site from 1925 to 1932. And this is a sound we haven't heard too much lately. People having fun. So just up ahead is Bloor Street, and this would be the eastern entrance to St. George Station coming up, and I'm going to dip down into the station and hop on the subway. And this is Prince Arthur Avenue. There's a couple of good bars just there on the right. And there's the condo where the mayor resides. From time to time, you'll find protesters out front here. But I will slip on my mask and pop into the station here. I still have yet to get a haircut, so I'm sure I look kind of silly. Confirmed.
Shuttle buses will run. Check ttc.ca for more information.
So here you'll find both line 1 and line 2. And what's unique is the tracks for each line run parallel to each other. So this is line 1 right here. And I want the eastbound line 2 train here. And it looks like the next train isn't here for 3 minutes. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this walk through Yorkville. Over to Bedford Road and then south down to St. George Station. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there are links to my Patreon in the description. You can also check out channel memberships on the main page. And I have an Instagram account. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.